This is Mr. Barry Dahlquist.
You're Dahlquist?
That's right.
Would you take this chair, please? Mr. Dahlquist, you've avoided this inquiry until now. May I ask you why?
Because I don't owe you anything. Nothing at all.
By you, do you mean Dr. Turner or the subcommittee? I understand and appreciate your hostility, but
Don't try for a 2-minute, 2-bit therapy session, Doctor.
What are your feelings toward Professor Turner now? There were violent actions the last time you met.
There were. I cracked up, I guess.
Have you ever cracked up before?
Uh-huh. I screamed out loud in the woods when there wasn't anybody around. Haven't you? Ever? What has that got to do with this? What has that got to do with this?
Possibly nothing. Mr. Dahlquist, the last we know of you is you're breaking off the experiment and running away without being debriefed. Do you now know truly what was going on? I mean, the illusion, the scenario?
Yeah, I know.
But you ran away without knowing.
I couldn't take it anymore. Had to get out. I just had to, so I did. I ran. Having visions of that poor guy in there with burns on his arms, smoke curling from his head. I could still hear his screams in my ears. I could see myself pulling switches. Pulling switches. In my apartment, I pulled down the shades and turned out the light. I wanted it dark. I didn't want to see myself.
Dahlquist? Dahlquist, let me in. Let me in. I want to talk to you now. Dahlquist!
The days after that, I stayed by myself. I avoided people. I didn't want to see anybody or have anybody see me.
Why?
Because somehow they'd know what I did. And I got this terrible feeling that I might have killed that man. I mean, really killed him. I looked in the paper for a story about it. I went over the paper again and again, looking.
Barry, it's Karen. Barry, let me in. Let me in, Barry. You're making a mistake about the experiment. No one got hurt. You have to understand the whole story. It's complicated. You're in there. I know you are. Barry, believe me, I'm not just saying it. You didn't hurt anyone. Barry!
I stopped going to classes. Just used to sit in this crummy little bar where nobody knew me. Most of the day just drinking beer.
Hey, you from the college?
Nah.
You're a liar. You're from the college. What are you doing here?
I like it here.
Town guys come here, not college punks.
You ever kill anybody?
What?
Korea, maybe? Yeah. You look old enough for that. Did you ever kill anybody in Korea? Huh? Stick a bayonet in them? Napalm them?
You're a weirdo. Since when you let college weirdo punks in here? Gonna get the place a bad name.
You got an answer?
Come on, get out of here.
Man, I want to meet you on equal terms.
I told you once.
One man to another. Come on.
What are you trying to do, bug me?
No, listen.
What are you, a queer or what?
Now listen to me. Hey, listen! When he beat me, I felt good. I felt clean, as though I were taking a bath, and I wanted to stay in that tub forever. Didn't matter. It was all the same thing. Because I had pulled those switches. You see, staged or not, I had done that believing it was real, and so it was all the same thing, maybe worse.
Well, Mr. Dahlquist, the effects of this experiment upon you have been profound indeed.
Now, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. Listen, I thought about this. The effect that that experiment had on me was that it scared me half to death.
It scared you? In what way?
You see, I was in the Army in Vietnam. I mean, during Vietnam. I never went overseas. But I almost got shipped over twice. And I agonized about what I'd do if those orders came through. See, I was big with the peace and the love beads and all of that. Well, I never had to face that. But I could have been there easily enough, and no matter what I talked with my mouth, what that experiment showed me was what I might have done. How I might have behaved when the chips were down.
But that's pure speculation.
Not for me. Not anymore. Because I did it, don't you see? You haven't done it, so you don't know what it's like. But I did it. I heard that man screaming for me to stop. Begging for me to stop, and I went on.
Well, there's a direct result for you. You've instilled such overriding guilt in this man, such a complex of fears.
No, you got to stop the jargon now. Just stop the jargon and listen to me. See, there we were behind this machine, and who was standing behind us with a gun saying, pull that switch?
There was coercion, urging, pressure.
But no gun, Professor. No gun. Nobody forced me to do it. Except the situation and myself. That's the whole scary point. What makes you think it would have been any different over there in Nam?
But you've no right to conclude that.
You just don't want to believe what's staring you in the face, man. No matter what I thought of myself before. What I know now is, had I been over there in My Lai, I would have shot dogs, cats, women, children, old men, babies. I would have wasted them all. Just like everybody else.